The dog lay in the middle of a puddle, resigned to its fate, living out its final hours. In the summer of 2021, we went for a walk with the dogs. It was then that we found an elderly German shepherd. The dog was lying in a puddle, most likely exhausted while walking. He had fallen into a puddle on the road and couldn't even get up to find a more comfortable spot. He lay there staring into space, as if he thought he'd never be able to get up and continue on his way. The dog had a wound under its tail, and maggots had already settled on it, as well as on its hindquarters. As we loaded the dog into the car, it seemed as if the animal was dying before our eyes. The dog had a shaved area on its belly, most likely. It had recently had an ultrasound. We assumed the owners were dissatisfied with the doctor's verdict and, to avoid treatment, had simply thrown the dog out into the street. We named the shepherd Ralph and fought tooth and nail for him. At the clinic, they diagnosed a severe inflammation, performed an ultrasound, and discovered that over 2 liters of fluid had accumulated in his bladder. The doctors removed the urine and gave him injections for the inflammation. Ralph didn't have the strength to eat. They fed him with a syringe, after which he instantly fell asleep. For 2 days, the dog regained his strength just enough to eat a little meat broth on his own. During this time, the doctors performed tests and an examination. When we found Ralph, he seemed like a very old man, but it turned out he was no more than 7 years old. The list of diagnoses was more consistent with an old man: cystitis, which prevented him from going to the bathroom on his own; fistulas under his tail; advanced bacterial dermatitis, enterocolitis, and pain in his paws and back, preventing him from walking. His chances of survival were slim. The first 5 days were the hardest, but then we calmed down a bit as Ralph started getting up and moving on his own. On walks, he'd walk a few meters and lie down to rest, but then he'd get up again and walk forward on wobbly legs. He decided to get better, and for us, that was a good sign. Soon, the dog's appetite returned and he became more active. It turned out that Ralph knew commands well and followed them precisely.